Hi everyone, welcome back to another gameplay of Alien Invasion RPG Idol. So I'm gonna do this very quick video to answer to some very common questions that I've been asked in the comments, and then I'm gonna share with you guys my thoughts about the new system with the new reactor, the new items being introduced, and all the factories and all the drones farming process and all that stuff. Now, first of all, the most common question I've been asked by a lot is, how is it possible that my alien doesn't get frozen? Like, what do I have to do in order for my alien also not to get frozen? And now here there is a combination of two different things. First of all is the ice market. The top upgrades called warm regen and warm capacity, they're gonna be needed in order to make your alien more resistant to frozen. Now they work a little bit differently. Now warm regen is really your resistance to cold, so pretty much how much you can stay warm and not get frozen. Instead, warm capacity is once you get frozen, how slowly you become more frozen. So how quickly you lose the stats and how quickly you become all the levels of being frozen, right? So that's how it works. And now remember, it's not just the ice market, it's also the metal shop. Because the most important, like between the two, between warm regen and warm capacity, the stronger one and the one you want to prioritize is warm regen, because that's actually your resistance to being frozen at all. But it's very important to get all the medals, because on the red essence and on the gold essence medals, you can actually multiply how much you're resistant to being frozen. Now in the game is called heat resistance. You can find it right here at the very bottom. I don't really know how it's called, why it's called heat resistance, because it's not resistance to heat, but it's pretty much resistance to frozen. So yeah, it increases by 300% once you get all the metals. So that's 4 times. And on the purple essence metal shop, you actually get an extra 400%. So that's 5 times higher. And now if I go to my alien stats and I move right at the bottom, you should have the stats for the freezing of your alien. Yeah, here we go. So the capacity, as you can see, is just from the ice market. That's it. Instead, your region, and this actually your resistance to get frozen, it's multiplied, as you can see here, from the metal shop. Now here, unfortunately, they still the old name for silver and gold, but now they're called like red essence and purple essence. And you can see the times 4 and times 5. And therefore, the number that you get from the ice market is then multiplied by the numbers of your medal shop. So that's why it's so important trying to max and get all the medals on the medal shop. And this is what really makes your alien, pretty much once you max it out, to be immune to freezing. You can reach every area, every point, and you should be immune to freezing at all. So yeah, that's the first thing that I wanted to share with you. Now another thing is the reactor and the new factories, like all these new items. They have specific names, by the way. I remember that on my first video, like I called them the purple battery, the silver battery, and the green battery, because they look like that. But in game, they have a specific name. And you can actually get it. You can see the actual name when you go on the James store, in case you are level 14 and you can reach this area. The 3 levels are going to be nanofiber. So nanofiber is the purple one, all right? The servos is the silver one, and then wire is the green one, all right? So these are going to be, these are the actual names for the 3 resources, the 3 items. And what on the James shop, once you can spend bronze, silver, or gold to upgrade the drop in this case. So how much the drones are gonna drop, so the amount of them. And you can also increase efficiency here of the bake, factory, and chemical plant, which are the 3 different factories in which you can produce the 3 different items. So the fiber, the servos, and the wire. And yeah, the maximum is 50%. Now in this case, I haven't even upgraded the income from green, red, and the purple essence, because I've already maxed it out, so I don't need to upgrade this. So that's why I kept it just like that. And then I've also upgraded here the catch speed, the HP, the cargo, and everything else. So that's just it. Now, once you max all this, so once you max the gem shop, everything, there will be always 3 areas where you can farm these items. Now, there will be an area where you can find the stronger drones, are gonna be harder to catch, but they're gonna give you the highest amount of the purple essence in order to get, in this case, is the fiber, right? The nano fiber. Now this screen right here from the furnace, also called bake, it's the one that you get once you max all the drone catch speed, all the furnace capacity, and the drop from the drones. So once you max those 3, then you can use crystals to level up the furnace, and this is the screen that you get. You can still then use crystals to increase the efficiency, so how many wire, in this case is the fibers, how many fibers you can get depending on the purples, the things that the drones drop, pretty much. And yeah, I have also upgraded that a little bit more to get more of these fibers. And now for the purple one, so for these for the fiber, you're gonna find the 220 drones right here. These are the hardest drones, and of course if you have a little more range and you have already maxed the drone catch speed, you can get them pretty easily. Remember, it doesn't matter how much catch speed total you have. It's not gonna make you be able to catch the drones faster. The drones catch speed, it just depends on this one. So on the particular factory upgrade. So either on bake, on the factory, on the chemical plant. So that's the idea. So the most important, so the drones that are gonna have the highest drops are gonna be right here. And in my case, once you max everything, is 220. Now the other drones, then you're gonna have the second area where these drones are gonna drop 55, as you can see right here. And once again, these 2 drones, so both the ones that give 220 and the ones that give 55, are gonna actually fly away from you. So they're gonna escape from an alien as you try to catch them. The weaker ones, which are gonna be flying around randomly, for example here, see these ones, are gonna drop 11. And these ones are not gonna fly away from you. So yeah, you can just catch them by following them and they're not gonna fly away. So yeah, those are easier to get, but of course they're gonna give a lot less drop. And unfortunately, I think that out of the 3, like this was for a bake, right, for the fiber item. On this one, you have the drones that are gonna drop the 55 right here. And again, they're pretty easy to get, to obtain. You're gonna find the drones that are gonna give the 220. This is the servos. So this is the second kind of resource right there, the 220. And then you're gonna find the drones that are gonna just drop 11, flying randomly in all this area. So in all this farming area, all this top side. Whereas the drones are gonna always fly around the factory in particular. So yeah, it should be pretty easy to catch them. And now the third is gonna be the chemical plant. Once again, you're gonna find the weaker drones, the ones that are gonna drop 11, flying around in this area. Then you're gonna find the drones that are gonna drop 55 down here. Those are the drones. And these drones are a little bit out of screen, I think. There is still a bug going on. And then you're gonna find the hardest drones to catch, that are these ones with 220 up here. Now these drones are super hard to get, like even once you max the drone catch speed, these ones are super tough to get. So what I recommend you to do is use the strategy I just showed you. So you slowly like approach them. Oops, here I messed up, but you want to slowly approach them, and then you don't want to go very quick. So you want to approach them like this, You fly very slow, and then slowly as the drone speeds up, you try to keep up, and always try to move like in a straight line, because the drones are going to be right here, and therefore you can see that there is a wall on the right side, and also there's a wall on the top side. So if you get too close to the wall, then the drone might fly through it, and then you can't go through the wall, so you might lose it. So just remember to stay behind the drone to force it to go in the direction in which you want. And yeah, that's just the trick I've been using to catch these drones a bit more easily. And now the 220 drones, both from the servos and from the wire, are gonna like respawn pretty quickly. You can see that there is another one here that I can get again, So slowly, then you put yourself behind, right? So you can go straight line without having to worry about the walls. And as I said before, they spawn pretty quickly. So you can just get them one after the other, and you can very quickly fill the factory. Well, in this case, it's a chemical plant or the factory or the bake. And yeah, this allows you to get to the 100% very quickly, and then you can convert right here. And yeah, that's just how you keep going. Now, unfortunately, for the bake, so for the fiber, this doesn't really happen. Like these drones right here take a very long time to respawn. These 220 drones, so the ones that are gonna give the highest drop, they take a ton of time to respawn, and also the other ones, these ones here of 55. So unfortunately, this makes this kind of bake to be a lot harder to reach that 100% and then to be able to convert and to get the actual fibers. So yeah, that's the only like thing that I would change to the game. Like I would make the respawn time to be equal between all of them, or maybe to respawn a bit more quickly. So in that way, it's easier to get them, especially the fibers. I think fibers are way too slow. They respawn way too slowly, like compared to the other two. And then another thing that I would change is I would make those drones right there, the 220 from the chemical plant, to be easier to catch because they're way too hard. Like I can understand perfectly well, like a player that doesn't have that much range, that it's almost impossible. Like unless you know a very good technique and you have also a lot of speed, like it's quite difficult to get them. But yeah, like overall, I would argue that also in the reactor, like this cost of getting all the reactor maxed out, so get the stability to get 100, so that you can always spawn the big guy that's gonna drop more diamonds, more crystals, rather than the queen of the worms. It's too much. Like you need way too many resources to max it. Of course, I think they have thought it so that it takes a long time to complete, and so probably that's the reason why it's not so easy to get these drones, to get these resources, and also to max it out. But yeah, like even a player like myself that has a lot of stats already, I struggle, and it's pretty slow for me. So I can imagine that for a less advanced player it might be harder. Of course, then you can use diamonds, you can use crystals to skip through the half an hour that it takes to convert, so you can get more if you want to. But yeah, I would recommend you to just let it go. You know, it's just time that you need to wait. And yeah, that's it. Now I don't really have much else to say. The reactor, of course, remember, once every hour roughly try to open it up because it's free crystals. And remember also about the robots right here every hour. So like you want to get the robots and then the reactor pretty much at the same timing, so because they have the same respawning time, 1 hour. And then remember, every 12 hours the big centipede boss right there, that yeah, the boss can give you a lot of the direct resources, which are super helpful at the beginning, but then it's pretty little. Like once you start getting a bunch of upgrades, yeah, 3,000 or 6,000, it becomes pretty little. And then as you can see here, I've also used some crystals to increase efficiency, so to be able to obtain more items from the conversion. So that's again to just to make it up, to progress it more quickly here in the reactor, and also to then be able to max the catch speed and the cargo a little bit faster. So that's why I'm waiting here to get the purple upgrade, so the extra catch speed, because of the fact that I'm trying to max the reactor first, so that it's always guaranteed that I get the big guy, I get more diamonds, and then after that is where I'm gonna start upgrading the cargo here or the catch speed. On the chemical plant, you have double amount of catch speed, I think. Instead of 1,000, it's 2,000. Yeah, here we go. So it's double compared to the furnace, but yeah, that's just it. So so yeah, this is the game. Of course, there will be a new event, as you can see, in 2 days, a little bit more than 2 days. So remember guys, make sure you participate. You let your phone idling as you are sleeping, as you're doing other things. So in that way you can collect a bunch of the things. And remember, it's very important because in that way you can then get more of the permanent upgrades, especially the extra percentage catch speed, super important, and the extra human cost, very important, the bonus meat from humans. So yeah, those two I would argue that are the best things. Also, extra catching radius, pretty good from the event. The amount of tentacles, also pretty decent. And yeah, so that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. God bless you and see ya. Bye bye.